The U.S. president said his administration is considering introducing import taxes of 10% as early as next week. He says the measure will be in response to China supplying Mexico and Canada with fentanyl, a synthetic opioid drug.
We have always believed there are no winners in a trade war or tariff war. China remains firmly committed to safeguarding national interests.
Katrina Yu is joining us now from Beijing. How is China reacting to this?
Well, as we just heard from Beijing, it has no intention of taking this lying down if Trump does choose to go forward with these tariffs. And previously, China's foreign ministry has denied those allegations that China is not doing enough to stem the tide of fentanyl to the U.S. It said that much progress has been made in recent years. Now, also talking about tariffs is China's Vice Premier, Ding Xuexiang, who's currently in Davos, arguing against protectionism and that countries should seek a win-win solution. He did refer to China's massive global trade surplus of about $1 trillion and said that this wasn't China's goal and that China is willing to import more goods from other countries. So that Beijing is signaling to the Trump administration that it is willing to do a deal to avoid new tariffs. However, it's also ready to respond if that does not work out, and it could retaliate in the form of its own tariffs. It could retaliate against U.S. firms operating in China, or it could tighten export controls on crucial minerals such as rare earths. But what is clear so far is that China is taking a wait-and-see approach. And if Trump goes ahead with this, it will raise tensions between the two sides.
I would imagine it's also going to affect trade between the two countries as well. And one would imagine it might have an impact in terms of the exports of both sides. Do we have an indication of how it's going to affect both countries?
Well, China argues that it is American consumers who are going to pay for these tariffs, but it will certainly also deal a blow to China's economy, which at the moment is struggling. It still hasn't fully recovered from the COVID-19 pandemic, and major drivers of growth here in China, for example, the housing market, are in crisis. So while Beijing says it's trying to shift away from the manufacturing model, it still does very much rely on its export market. So new U.S. tariffs are bad news, and aside from just affecting trade, this